Now look, today we're diving into the background and psychology of Tyler Robinson, the 22-year-old accused of assassinating conservative activist Charlie Kirk at Utah Valley University. And while the headlines focus on the crime itself, the real questions are about who Robinson is, where he came from, and what led him down such a dark path. Look, y'all sit back and relax and stay into the end of this episode because we about to dive right in. Welcome back to another episode of Eyes Low, Belly Full. As y'all know, this marks episode 148. Now, Tyler James Robinson grew up in St. George, Utah, a relatively quiet community. He wasn't a hardened criminal, and he definitely wasn't someone with a long rap sheet. In fact, according to reports, he briefly attended college, but dropped out. And recently, he was enrolled in a technical or apprenticeship program for electrical work, suggesting that he was trying to build a career. Now, friends and neighbors described him as quiet, even withdrawn sometimes. He didn't stand out as violent. Instead, they thought he was a young man who was intelligent, but socially isolated. And that isolation is an important piece in understanding the psychology behind what happened.
You know what I know about Tyler is he was always very quiet. He was very smart. He had just a real mellow personality, never caused any problems. He, like I said, he was smart and he kept to himself, and I don't know who his friends were as of now.
Is there any chatter in your neighborhood right now? I know you said you're shocked. Are neighbors having any conversation about Tyler?
Yes, I'm sure. I haven't been out too much this morning. I've talked to a few people, but those people haven't lived here long enough. I've lived in the neighborhood for 16 years, just as long as they have, and I'm sure everybody in the neighborhood's shocked because most of these people have been here forever and know him as that kind of kid I did.
Now, investigators and journalists uncovered that Robinson spent a lot of time online, engaging in fringe communities. And here's where the story shifts. The rifle that was used in the shooting was engraved with strange messages. Everything from anti-fascist slogans to internet memes.
Investigators noted inscriptions that had been engraved on casings found with the rifle. Inscriptions on a fired casing read, "Notices bulges, capital OWO, what's this question mark?" Inscriptions on the 3 unfired casings read, "Hey fascist, exclamation point, catch, exclamation point." Up arrow symbol, right arrow, and symbol, and 3 down arrow symbols. A second unfired casing read, "Oh Bella Chow, Bella Chow, Bella Chow, Chow Chow." And a third unfired casing read, "If you read this, you are gay, LMAO."
Now, on the surface, these inscriptions sound almost absurd, but psychologists note that this blending of humor, irony, and ideology is common in online spaces that radicalize young men. And memes and ironic jokes can mask extreme beliefs, making it easier for someone like Robinson to slide from harmless online chatter to more serious and dangerous thinking. Even Robinson's alleged behavior in the days before the shooting shows methodical planning, retrieving a rifle, hiding it, and changing clothes to avoid detection. And that level of preparation shows that this wasn't just a spontaneous act of rage. Instead, it points at calculated intent.
Look, y'all, I'm about to tell you why 22-year-old Tyler Robinson shot and killed Charlie Kirk. And it has a lot to do with being intelligent, being a white nationalist, and feeling like Donald Trump and Charlie Kirk. turned their backs on the gropers. So look, the gropers are a bunch of white nationalists, you know. They feel like white people should be preserved in America. They promote anti-Semitic views, blah, 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 right? Now, Tyler, he used to fuck with Charlie Kirk all the way up until 2019. He goes to a rally and gets into it with Charlie Kirk. Charlie Kirk blew him down, ripped his ass to pieces, and he never forgot. He like, oh, so this bitch been lying to us, been finessing us. Then he think he's more intelligent than me. And what Charlie Kirk don't know is you ain't gonna never be smarter than a nigga that scored a 32 on the ACT, right? So he like, all right, Nick Fuentes, I got us, right? He goes in his Discord and strikes up the conversation to see how his peers feel about it. He like, yeah, y'all, how y'all feel about Charlie Kirk? And they immediately go in. Oh, he's a piece of bullshit. He's Donald Trump's little do-boy. We're tired of him. I can't believe people are still supporting him after he's lying to our faces. He was like, oh yeah, well, I'ma lead the revolution. So boom, he link up with an arms dealer who he met through his family. That's what they not telling y'all. His family are connected to some pretty dangerous people that got some high power weapons. So boom, he link up with the dude and he let him know, look, I could get you this weapon, but it can't trace back to me. He like, nah, it's all good. We gonna set up a elaborate plan and we'll never get caught. So boom, he dropped the gun off in the bushes. Tyler, go get it. Now, before he whacked Charlie Kirk, he went up to the campus and surveyed some of the people in attendance. He asking them questions. Yeah, what y'all think about Charlie Kirk? They dumb. Oh, he's great. Oh, he's gonna make America white again and blah, blah. They just dumb, not knowing that they're feeding the fuel that this man needed to carry out this heinous act. He get on the roof. He knocked Charlie Kirk off, right? He goes back to the group and let them know, mission complete. They threw a celebration online about the demise of Charlie Kirk. So this is why Donald Trump don't want nobody to know this.
Now, from a psychological perspective, this type of planning often reflects two things: a strong internal belief system and a detachment from the human cost of the act. In other words, Robinson may have convinced himself that the act was justified while emotionally distancing himself from the reality of taking a life. And when we look at cases like this, the reoccurring theme is identity. Tyler Robinson was young, still figuring out his place in the world. He wasn't firmly rooted in a career, a family, or a community. And that lack of groundedness can make someone more vulnerable to extremist ideas that offer a sense of belonging or purpose. Now, it's possible that Robinson saw himself not just as an individual, but a soldier in a bigger fight. A dangerous mindset where ideology replaces empathy. And psychologists describe this as identity infusion, where the personal self is fused with the group or cause, making extreme actions feel morally justified. And what else is crazy is that Robinson still has not cooperated with investigators, and that silence leaves us with more questions than answers. Was this truly political? Was this a crazy desire for recognition? Or was it rooted in personal struggles with alienation and disconnection? Well, without his own words, we can only interpret the evidence, the engravings on the rifle, the online activity, and the careful planning. Together, they paint a picture of a young man whose worldview became radicalized and detached from reality. And this isn't just about one man and one crime. It's about how environments shape young people and how quickly identity and ideology can intertwine in destructive ways. Now, I want to hear what y'all think about this whole situation. Was Tyler Robinson a lone young man acting on his own impulses, or was he a pawn in something much bigger? Go ahead and let me know in the comments below. And if this video resonated with you, go ahead and hit that like button. Give me a thumbs up and also subscribe and hit that bell notification for more episodes. I'm going to catch y'all in the next one. Peace.